Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
We all know what day it is, and happy 4th of July from here and all around the world. I'm Stephen Cuoco, and you're listening to Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio. 200 countries and counting. I'm loving it. Whether you're listening to us on the iOS or Android app, Alexa, Siri, and Apple Music. Top 10 in news on Apple Music. If you got an Apple Music account, Apple iPhone, go ahead. It's going to be free for you. If you want it free, go to our website, Power 98.5 Satellite Radio's power985.com. Download the app. You got Alexa. Everyone has an Amazon account. Add us into your Alexa skill. We also stream live on Live FM Radio, Streama, Streameter, MyTuner, and more. Taking a breath for today. I'm going to honestly say we shouldn't have to have one day. We shouldn't have to have the government. We shouldn't have to have a calendar. We shouldn't have to have whoever they think belongs in charge of the human race to tell us when we're going to celebrate, how we're going to celebrate, and what we're going to do. I'm going to honestly say honor the collective. Honor your fellow man, your fellow woman, your fellow child, your dog, your cat, your best friend. You can do that every day. You know, you can honor, soldiers and, the military, the people that are truly for the public every single day by being a great person, by doing exceptional things in a world to make your life better, to make and to help other people feel safe and encouraged and respected, and most importantly, heard. How often are people trying to fight to be heard? We see this on social media all the time. The exaggerated content that's on there. Just sit and listen. That's the best gift that you can give to someone. Listen. Every day can be a birthday. Every day can be a New Year's celebration. Every day you can honor a loved one who's living or who's no longer here. Every day you can give and share it forward to honor yourself and everyone, no matter who they are and from all walks of life. You shouldn't have to have a calendar or a job or a company to tell you when you should stop and take a break. You should automatically do that when you need to and when you're ready to. So just to know that. Sean, what's going on? Please tell me what's happening here. Is it one of those days? I hope not. I know. Thank you. Appreciate my team. Christina, love you very much. My team out there in Manchester, UK, New York. I'm currently here in Vegas. I'm looking forward to walking out onto the rooftop and watching the fireworks tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I used to live at Veer Towers over by the Cosmopolitan. So I went from, I think, the west side of the Strip. Now I'm on the east side. And I like it over here. So I'm like in the middle of a lot of great things. So it's going to be great. I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what all you guys are doing, but I'm not going anywhere. I've got a nice dinner planned for myself. I may have a nice cocktail later. But other than that, to me, every day is a vacation day, but every day is a work day. And I believe that if you put 5 to 10 minutes into something you love that you want to be fulfilled. Like we got Joaquin Buckley today. Whether he's running, whether he's in the gym training, or he is sparring, or someone's sparring him, whatever it is, you can head on over to his Instagram and you will see that Joaquin, new Mansa Buckley, he's got it going on. This young professional man knows what he's doing when it comes to performance, education, resiliency, training, fighting, helping even to make you laugh. It's new Mansa 94. Once again, Joaquin Buckley, new Mansa 94. Whether you're just joining us now or if you're just joining us or may join us later, this interview will re-air on Power 98.5. You can check the schedule whether on the website or the app anytime. You can find out all of our upcoming shows, whether it's Resilient You with Alicia Pazzoni. Let me tell you at Lady T, she's got a lot of great stuff coming out. And we've got Catherine Swain coming back. We've revamped. We've got a new freshness that's going to be coming to her show. And you guys are going to find out more about that. And it's truly exciting. People have been asking, when's Catherine coming back? Well, she's been doing a lot of travel and she's coming back. And I'm excited to announce that after having a great conversation with her last night, I was in a gym all the way up until about 10 o'clock. I didn't get to sleep until about 1:30 this morning? Sean, you wouldn't know a darn thing about that. I'd be lucky if I see you on a, what do they call that? What is that? Pelican or whatever? What is that darn bike? A treadmill. But, you know, you do your thing. But listen, you got to do more than just lifting a Bud Light or whatever else you're drinking there. But we love you. And don't get me wrong, Sean looks great. You know, but there's something about guys that are like in their late 20s and early 30s to where they seem to still stay very comfortable with their body and don't take much effort into putting what they need to into it at times. But trust me, your body's not going to look like that forever. Don't just rely on your genes or, you know, your genetics and whatever else you're doing. But, you know, hey, to each their own. New Mansa 94 is Joaquin Buckley's Instagram. Check it out. If you've got any questions, comments, you want to share any love, support, or have any questions for Joaquin, you can click the messenger, whether on the app or on the website, that bottom icon in the right-hand corner. Do we have any other announcements? How are we today? Good? Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff coming up. Yeah, I'm going to cover that later. I know we've got UFC 290 this week, Power Slap 3 this week. This is International Fight Week, so look forward to that. You're going to get a lot more and see a lot more on my socials, and I've been sharing a lot. My shorts, I love my YouTube shorts. My numbers do so well on there. I put time into my videos, but I don't put effort in other people's platforms because they're not made for us. They're made for their advertisers and their investors and sponsors. But there's one company that needs to stop fucking around with their bullshit and leave my videos alone because if you think you're God, you're not. Someone always falls off. You can get as high and mighty as you want to, but you better be fucking careful of how and mighty you really get, because when you fall, and you will fucking fall, there's an expiration date for everything. You're going to splat so bad on the fucking ground that people won't even recognize that you ever existed. So watch your attitude. I keep myself like, I'm going to just say this, and I don't mind being transparent. Some people who like to think they're God and play God like to meddle in other people's business. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not the type of person to where if you're going to meddle in my business, you better have a darn good reason if you want to come meddle in my business. I keep it fair, honest, and I do the right thing. I don't put my nose into anything else. But let me tell you something. You got dirty laundry. If you are a scumbag, if you are an idiot, if you are someone that is just a fucking asshole, be careful where you put your nose in my business. I'm an Italian, Sicilian, Puerto Rican, and a Brazilian, and Aries from New Jersey. You come knocking on my door, you come putting your nose in my business, believe you me, I will take down the door. I will not only show you my nose, but I will show you my Aries heat, because I don't put up with the bullshit. People have taken social media, they have taken online, they've taken where this world is at. Everybody's a vigilante. People think that they can do whatever they want without repercussion. People think that they can involve themselves in other people's lives and interfere and meddle and disrupt and think that they can possess. They act like demons. They think that they can possess other people. That is not reality. Remember, there is a higher power. There is a God. There are other forces out there. So wherever you're using your energy, your way of being for evil against something or someone else, there is another side. There is another light that is there. And trust me, it doesn't sit back and put up with it. So if you're not coming to the table with love and respect and understanding, then don't come to the table. Play with the pigs in the mud. Don't come to the table where it's clean and where we're doing right and where we're doing good and where we're creating greatness. Keep playing with the pigs. Keep playing in the slums, okay? Keep washing yourself in that dirty water, because I don't want you to be coming in my clean pool. But on a new note, yeah, on an extra note, you know, I'm tired of feeling restricted. You know, I do the right thing. You guys know that I do the right thing. I'm just going to keep it simple. We're going to get over to my good friend Joaquin. I keep it simple. A lot of people do a lot of good in this world. But I'm going to have to say that, you know, just because I work in public relations, just because I'm at the level where I'm at, doesn't mean I'm going to just sit back and not say anything. To me, that's complacency. I am not. There are times when I know when I should share something, and there's times when I believe I shouldn't. But I'm going to take the opportunity, especially with having the listeners that I have, the reach of where I'm at, and I want to be able to bring insight, because I'm not hearing anyone else say anything else. I hear whining. I hear temper tantrums. But what I would like to hear is communication. Civil communication to get resolve and results. That's just where I'm clear. And I've told people I've had enough. You get to a certain point, I'm going to close by saying this. You get to a certain point, a certain place when you find peace and balance and tranquility within yourself. You get to a certain point, even with age, where you just will not tolerate. I've never been a person that tolerates shit. But I will say that I am at a place in my life to where I'm pushing back. I've always had no problem pushing back. But this time around, I'm pushing back in a fearless way. I am not going to worry about someone destroying my reputation or trying to destroy me. Been there, done that. I'm not going to concern myself or worry about someone coming in and tainting my reputation. I've got a solid reputation. I couldn't care less what other people think, but been there, done that. And I'm going to tell you, I've had the closest people who came across as an ally and have become some of my worst adversaries are family and friends. Some of the most people in my life that have become the best allies are strangers. So get that. So with that being said, we're getting back to the music. I want to add this on. Mr. Joaquin, the Mansa Buckley. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Stephen. Thank you.
You are welcome. I usually don't do too long intros, but today, today I felt like it. Today I felt it was worthwhile. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your show, ain't it? You can talk like that. You know? And I love how you keep it real. You keep it 100. You know where we come from, man. So I come from St. Louis, man, and that's all we do, man. We just try to speak the truth, and you can't allow people or outsiders to try to, keep you quiet. If there's something that needs to be said, say it. Definitely if you're speaking the truth. So yeah, I don't mind you doing what you're doing. So keep it up. Yep.
I appreciate that. It's been quite a journey for you. It's been quite a journey of having the opportunity of getting to know you. And it's a privilege to have you here with us. And whether people realize it or not, you are a person, a man, and a professional worth knowing, worth having a conversation with. I've got to ask, though, do you feel... in everything you're accomplishing and everything that you're doing for yourself and for your family, do you still feel misunderstood?
I do feel misunderstood. I feel like, where I come from and my story and my background hasn't been heard. And it's not that the story is not out there. It's just, it hasn't been pushed. So I don't really get mad at, anybody for not pushing that story besides myself. So I need to pretty much be self-reliant and just let people know whenever I'm talking to them, giving my story and just telling my background. Or if I'm ever making a post, giving my story, giving my background. So even though I'm misunderstood, I don't think it's anyone's fault but my own, So I need to be able to be consistent on telling my story every chance I get,
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Heather Abuff. I appreciate you. Yes, we've got Joaquin, the new Mansa Buckley. He is the most viral UFC fighter of all time. Record, 16 wins, 12 knockouts. Yeah. And he's adding a lot more to that, Heather.
Yeah.
What, I've got to ask, why MMA?
For me, it started at an early age, and it all started from movies. I'm still into movies. I actually want to be, an actor one day and be able to show people different arts and different disciplines. But it all started from an early age, man, and me just watching movies. But besides the movies, one day when I was in like 6th grade, I never forget it. I was on YouTube and I was watching different videos about, different martial arts, and then the UFC had just popped up, as a highlight. And I seen Gary Goodrich, pull off this amazing knockout or amazing finish called the crucifix. And ever since I seen that, I said, oh, okay, I can do this for real. So ever since then, when I was in 6th grade, man, I just been obsessed with it. So, right now I'm living a childhood dream, so that's what I'm doing right now.
Your accomplishments have only been in 2 years, right?
Yeah, two and a half, about, somewhat. But I tell people this has been a 10-year journey. Nothing that came overnight. And, there's been a lot of struggle, a lot of heartache, a lot of tears being shed. I'm not scared to say it. I didn't cry over this. So, now that I'm here and now that I have, the privilege to fighting on the biggest promotion on the world, I'm not going to slow down. I'm actually going to pick up the speed, where I'm at.
You're 29. You still look about 21, 22.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And I'm going to tell everyone, I mean, if you think that Joaquin looks huge online and on his Instagram and photos, I'm going to tell you, you look even bigger in person.
I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment, I guess.
That day when I met you over there at the Santa Fe Hotel and I shook your hand, I mean, I don't know if The Rock or what would be jealous, but you're all shoulders and chest and pecs and back.
Yeah,
man.
Years of training, man. Years of training since I was 13 years old, doing the same thing, And I tell people a lot of times I don't lift weights necessarily. I don't do like a lot of barbell workouts. I really kind of created my physique through calisthenics. So pull-ups, push-ups, squats, plyometric. I use my body as a tool in order to create the physique that I want. So I tell people all the time, you don't need a gym. You just need your body. Just get the moving, and you'll get there.
It was back in November 19th of 2020. It says Joaquin Buckley's viral finish and potential knockout of the year last month on Fight Island lit up the MMA and sports world. This is where it says one kick changed Joaquin Buckley's life. Do you remember that?
Of course. It definitely changed my life to the point where now people knew my name. And I tell people all the time, that's one of the hardest things to try to do for yourself as a fighter, is try to build a reputation and a brand behind yourself, and create a name or make a household name for yourself. Because even if you're a great fighter, even if you have great talent, and even if you're, a finisher, if people don't know who you are, people just don't know who you are. So that kick definitely put me on the map, and it really showed people who knew Mansa was that night. So, of course, I remember. Yes, sir.
How I come to really recognize how incredibly talented, and not only talented, what an articulate person and man you are was at the UFC Vegas 73, and that was when you were against, your match was against Andre Fiallo. Incredible.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I think that's one of my biggest accomplishments to date within the UFC, because I had a lot of negative energy around me. A lot of people telling me that I couldn't make the weight. A lot of people telling me I couldn't perform. My last two fights, coming off a loss, if I lose this one, I was going to get cut. So I had a lot of things coming around me where it was just putting me in a bad space. So I had to remove that, and I had to get away from that noise, this disruptive noise that was affecting me. And once I did that, I was able to see myself as being one of the greatest fighters at 170 in my mind, and I went out there and I performed, and I did what I said I was going to do. So, I tell fighters all the time, you got to get away from that negative noise if you want to be successful.
Are people still finding out how incredibly amazing Joaquin the Mansa Buckley is? Or have you been experiencing in the last couple years, if not most recently, that people make assumptions and are far too quick to write about you without finding the information out firsthand from you?
The second one. A lot of people make assumptions. A lot of people have opinions, and a lot of people have answers to questions they never asked. So my biggest thing is I can't rely on that, and I can't focus on that. I can only focus on myself and my journey, and the story is going to tell itself, and the story is going to write itself. So my thing is, I don't mind people having assumptions, but as long as you paying attention, that's what I want you doing. So, but the story is still being written, and I think a lot of people are going to be shocked, of really how great I am. They really don't know yet.
It was reported back from the UFC Vegas 73, Joaquin Buckley melts Andre Fiallo with brutal knockout, calls out Logan Paul for sponsorship. Do you want to speak on that?
I guess we can. I just seen an opportunity for myself to, after I got the knockout, I see a lot of these things, that the UFC been pushing. They got a lot of advertisement that's around there. And one thing that was poking out the most was Prime. And I said, hey, my man doesn't sponsor not one athlete in the UFC. So why not take this opportunity once I get this knockout to speak about that? And eventually Logan Paul ended up reposting my comment and talked about he was going to think about it. And he actually does now sponsor two UFC athletes, not just athletes, but champions, with Israel Adesanya and Alex Volkanovski. And a lot of people would think I would be upset, but actually I'm not upset. I'm just glad that he was able to pick somebody from the UFC to actually help promote them and help push their name and build their brand even more, because that just helps us other fighters, and maybe not just Prime, but maybe Toyota, does the same thing, sponsor an athlete. Maybe Modelo sponsors an athlete, and if that happens, I feel like, I open the door so other people can walk through, and I'm glad it was those two guys at the end of the day.
Do you believe that you would ever be added to the list, or what are your thoughts?
I wouldn't mind it, but, like I said, things that aren't in our control, we can't focus on. If it happens, beautiful. If not, hey, we keep moving forward. as long as I'm able to fight, as long as I'm able to compete and show the world, who I am in the cage, I'm perfectly fine. I don't need any sponsorships, because I'm doing what I love to do.
I have to say this. The moment everyone has the opportunity, sponsorship, endorsements for you now. And I'm going to say you're worth and you deserve to be expensive. But when a day comes, that smile on your face that's going to be, when they really come and you're wondering why they weren't there before when they were there the whole entire time, I hope you add a lot of fucking zeros onto that.
We might, yes, sir. But right now, we're just going to keep the smile. I like what you said. We're just going to keep the smile. Yeah.
What, honestly, aside from all of this and all of your incredible accolades, what brings you to, I have to ask, what brings you the most joy in life? I mean, really, really the most joy, Joaquin.
Seeing my son, Isaiah, that's my everything. And it's crazy when we knew that he was about to be pretty much, my girl told me that she was pregnant. I was happy. I was actually, very excited to hear about the news. But the only thing that I was worried about is like I ain't got nothing really to offer. So with that being said, I was working at Walgreens and I kind of slowed down on my MMA career. And I'm not going to lie, I gave up on it. I kind of gave up on becoming and thinking that I'd be a world champion and everything of that nature. But knowing that he was on the way, it kind of sparked that back into me. So I worked overnight at Walgreens, and I used to listen to a lot of audio books, and I used to think about different, martial arts moves that I could apply to my game because I was still training. Not saying I was literally thinking about getting back into like the whole mindset of becoming a world champion, but just for my mental health, I was still training. But I made sure that I was like, whatever I need to do in order to be successful in time, that's what I'm going to do for him. So I need to build him something. So he sparked another flame in me that got me actually into the UFC, right? And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am. So that's my biggest joy. So every time I see him, it's a reminder that not only of his birth, but he kind of rebirthed myself, and put a new flame under me. So, yeah.
Well,
that's my biggest joy.
You're a great father. I don't see how you parent, but I believe it. I can feel it in my heart.
Oh, yeah. Nah. I love being a daddy. I love being a daddy. So anytime I'm around, and that's the thing that's kind of unfortunate with the job that I do now, is time. A lot of time is sacrificed away from the family. But we had a conversation, behind, closed doors and everything of that nature. But, that's one thing I always got to just be reminded of. It's just, hey, spend your time wisely. So that's one thing I have to do. I can't just try to keep trying to fight and keep trying to promote and push my family to the side, because that's what I care about the most. When everything is said and done and everything is over with, they're the only ones that's going to be there. So I got to have that time for my son. I have to have that time for my life partner. And I have to have that time for my grandmother. These are the three people that I care about the most in my life. And, like I said, that time that I spend here with the UFC and everything, that's time spent away from them. So I'm trying to really fight for my time back. That's really what I'm doing. And not money. I'm trying to fight for my time back. Yeah.
And you're doing video calls and stuff like that, right? With them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We FaceTime every day. FaceTime every day. He hates it though. He hates FaceTime because he's like, Daddy, you need to be home. He'll knock the phone over and stuff like that. But and I understand his frustrations and stuff like that. He's only actually he's about to be 3 in August. He's about to turn 3 in August. So he's getting older and he's starting to have a little bit of an understanding, what Daddy does. So anytime, we go to the airport, he know Daddy about to leave, so he just breaks out crying, And so he knows that Daddy gonna be gone for a minute. But anytime I come back, once I come back home, he just embraces me like nothing else. That I never felt that type of love before, just somebody that just wants you because of you. And yeah, it's a wonderful feeling. I feel sorry for, certain people that unable to feel that type of feeling, you know.
I want to thank you for sharing that, because that's why I'm here. You know, as I shared with you in conversations outside of, what we've had, that I've put decades and a lot of time into television and reality TV and film and fashion in the entertainment industry. And I still love it. I just reached a place that, I just knew in my heart it was time to pick a sport, and a sport to where I felt as though I can really be an asset to you as an athlete and you guys as athletes. And this is the reason why. Because most people assume that when you're an athlete, no matter what sport you're in, that you guys are banking millions. That's not reality. I mean, these are the stories. I mean, what you have to put into it, the training, the time away, the months, not just the weeks, the months that you have to put into this. And then, having your son, your 3-year-old son, and doing your best to make sure that he's not experiencing abandonment issues, and knowing that he's always loved and he's always remembered. That is, I mean, most athletes go through this, but this is why I picked MMA. This is why I really delved within the last several months into this and would love to continue, is because these are the stories. This is the reality of what it's like, because like you said, you were working at Walgreens. People don't know, and you don't have to prove or share this on social media. It should be common knowledge within the information of promotion and advertising and journalism, that you are a real person doing real things, making real sacrifices. And there is a sense of a cost, and it's the fact to where it's the cost of what your humanity is all about, because there is a lot of things that you have to condition and prepare for that not anyone can walk off the street and do what you do, no matter if they were a former Marine or a 12-time Mr. Olympian. You have to be so adaptable emotionally and mentally, and then into physically for this, and then to work everything else. This is why you are what makes being a man a real man, because this is what it means to be a man.
I appreciate that. Yes, sir. I appreciate that a lot. It took time for myself to understand that, it took a minute for me to understand what sacrifice really meant. But like I said, once I had my son and the time that I spent away from him, that's that sacrifice. That is major sacrifice. And money, you can't pay for time back. That's the unfortunate part. But if I'm able to acquire the funds and the money that I need in order to be able to relax and have that time with my son, then that's what we're going to work on. That's what we're going to focus on. Trying to get as much as we can out of the promotion that we fight for in order to live the life that I really want to live. So, yes, sir. But it's all sacrifice at the end of the day.
Is there anything that you would like to, I know I want to bring you back on again. I'm feeling really good about this interview, and I know that we can go into a lot more. But before we close out, Joaquin,
yes,
what do you want to set the record straight on?
I just want to set the record on just to let people know that I'm here for the fans and to put on for a great show whenever I fight. And I just want people to recognize and see me as a fighter, but not just only see me as a fighter, but see me as a father, see me as a son, see me as a human being, see me as a person, because I think that's one thing a lot of people don't get the opportunity to see is what I do outside of the cage, the work that I do outside of the cage, and the people that I help and the people that I cherish and I try to support. So, I just want people to recognize that, as much as I'm a savage fighter, and I will admit that I am one of the best fighters within the company that I fight for, I'm also a loving individual, and I only want to support and help people that need that help. So, I just want people to know that I need them to understand that I'm just a regular individual. I'm just a regular person, a regular guy that needs that help to help others. So that's it. That's why I want to set the record on.
Who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'd love to give a shout out to my grandmother, Peggy Brooks. She the one that helped support me throughout this whole journey. In order for me to continue on where I'm going, the path that I'm leading down, and she always praying for a baby. So that shout out definitely got to go out to my grandmother, Peggy Brooks.
Yeah, thank you, Peggy. Much love, much prayer, many, many great and loving thoughts to you. What's next for you, Joaquin? What's next for you this year?
Well, we're working on it right now. So I'm in Las Vegas for International Fight Week, and I'm trying to push for a fight in September to fight Jack Della Maddalena. And if I'm able to get that fight in Australia, it'll be one of the most the biggest fight in my career. Not only just with the competitor, but the show. And Australia is one of the most big events that we could have down there. And if I'm able to get on that show, things could start to turn around when I get that win. So, I got a couple things in the works, and that's one of the things I'm working on right now.
I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. You've got my direct private number. Just know you can call me anytime, any questions, anything at all, even if it's just to have a chat. That's what I'm here for. It's why I'm ready, and I chose this direction to add this to what I do and what I'm here for. And you've got a family here, and you've got a home here at Power 98.5. I
appreciate that. Thank you, Stephen, for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else before we head out of this live?
Just like I said, just support your mans by following me on New Mansa 94 and follow my YouTube channel, Joaquin Buckley Official. And that support alone will take me far. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again for tuning in. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio. This episode will re-air. Definitely check the schedule on Power 98.5, whether on the iOS or Android app or on the website. Also, with the other shows that are up and coming, Alicia's going to have a new show this week with, I believe it's Sophia. That's going to be Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. I believe Catherine may be coming back next week. Just check the schedule, especially whatever time zone you're in. That is always best. Remember, Joaquin, the new Mansa Buckley, the most viral UFC fighter of all time, and his record is 16 wins, 12 knockouts. His Instagram is newmansa94, NEWMANSA94. And you know what's even easier? To learn more about Joaquin the Mansa Buckley, Google, Yahoo, or Bing. Take a look at those photos. Take a look at those videos. Take a look at those past fights. You're going to be highly, highly impressed. Have a safe holiday weekend. Remember, those checkpoints are going to be happening. That's another reason why I'm not going. Well, I live on a strip. Everything's a walking distance. But still, don't underestimate. And you know what? With all due respect, living out here on the West Coast, not only do people, for the most part, not know how to drive when it's raining or even snow flurries, if there are any, but they don't even really know how to drive when it's 109 degrees outside like it is right now, and absolutely sunny and gorgeous. So if you can stay off the roads, just stay off the road, or maybe take an Uber or a Lyft. But be safe, be smart. Once again, all great things. Joaquin Mansa Buckley. Head on over to his Instagram, newmansa94. Head on over to mine. I'm going to be sharing a lot more. Joaquin and I had a great photo taken most recently when we were at UFC Fight Pass. Joaquin Buckley, most viral UFC fighter of all time. Can't argue with that. and a record of 16 wins, 12 knockouts, many, many more to come. Have a great day, everyone. Oh, and by the way, if you don't want to wait until we re-air this episode, it will be available on your favorite podcast station, whether it's Amazon Music, Amazon Audible, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Remember, top 10 in news on Apple Music, Power 98.5 satellite radio, and we always deliver the best in radio shows. Have a great day, everyone.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.